It's week 19 here at Garden Grown Groceries, and things are really starting to grow now. So let's go take a look, and I'll show you how things are growing here at the home garden. The pumpkin that I planted here is doing well, but I gotta say it's been flagging during the day, during the 80-degree temperatures. I was thinking of taking a milk crate and sticking it over the top. I don't have any extra shade cloth. I was thinking of putting a milk crate over it to shade it from the afternoon sun. But today it's much cooler. It's in the upper 60s, low 70s. But it's looking better today. Right next door, the small pumpkin has fared much better, and it's looking healthy and starting to grow. I ended up planting one of the watermelons, and so far it's taken, so no problems there. The cabbages, chickens must have laid an egg. Cabbages are looking very good, really starting to spread out now, and even the garlic plant now, it's pushing up against the top of the covering. As you can see, I've also got, this is actually just bird netting, but it's worked really well as a shade cloth on top here. So I ended up running it the length of the bed here, and the cabbages don't wilt during the day now. So they're all doing pretty well underneath here, including the red cabbage here, which I never did separate. So I really got to do that. This green cabbage is looking really good here. I'm not sure how well that actually shows through. Let's see. Does it do any better with, yeah, maybe you can see a little better. And that one's still small, but it's still growing. So not too bad. Right next door are my rhubarb. That one in particular, as I said, I planted that one last year. So it sprouted and just started growing, and it's growing really strong now. So it's supposed to give a rhubarb like 2 years to before you start harvesting off of it. So I won't be taking anything this year. But right next door, the carrot, the last year's carrot, that is really growing now. So it'll probably end up throwing up a seed stalk soon. Speaking of seed stalks, going back to the garlic here, once it starts putting up its scape, and I'm not sure if there's something coming out right now. No, we still just got the plants in here, the leaves. But once that starts to show, I'll take the netting and I'll try to maneuver it behind the plant so that the scape can grow up. The peas are looking terrific, really starting to put on some size and growth, except for all these, all the way down the line. Every single one had their tops chewed off. Every single one. The only ones that survived are the ones down there. I don't know if these can end up still growing or not, but my pea harvest might be in danger. And as you can see, there's a top laying right here. It was a groundhog. I think it just happened this morning too, because my dog dispatched the groundhog. I won't be having a groundhog anymore. Over the past week, less than 5 days, he's eliminated for a groundhog. So he got the last one this morning and found it at my back door where he left me a little gift, but not before it damaged all these pieces. I haven't had a problem with the groundhog in the past, which is why I really didn't even think about it. But this year, this time, it did. So that's really disappointing. And like I said, I don't know if it's going to harm the peas or not, if they can recover from that. I haven't had any experience with cutting off the tops of a pea plant and whether or not they can still grow. As you can see, every single plant has been chewed down, almost like those soft sprouts. I know gardeners do that. They cut off the tops of pea plants and put them in salads and stuff. But they grow them for that purpose, I think. So I don't know if this is going to recover. The regular garlic plants are looking terrific. This I've known the groundhogs never touch. They don't like garlic, apparently. Thank goodness. But they're growing really strong. Today is what, May 4th? And I hate all the Star Wars references to today. But they probably by next month, they'll start throwing out their scapes. And then within 2 to 4 weeks after that, the garlic will be ready to harvest. So probably within 2 months, we'll be ready to harvest. Maybe first week of July, thereabouts. But all looking very healthy. The egg carton carrots are off to the races finally. They've almost all have sprouted. Only have a couple of holes, like one here. That one finally sprouted. One here, and then 2 here. But they've otherwise done good. Here, all these seeds have come up except for this row for some reason. These 2 rows have all sprouted. This row did not. Weird. And then the others that I planted over here, they're coming along. The germination wasn't quite the same here. Like a lot of bare spots in here, mostly in this middle row. Most of the others are all growing. I mean, those 2 are gone, those 2 are missing. But otherwise, they're pretty much all covered. Now, I put in Imperator carrots along here. And I used the same seed starting method, and they're starting to sprout too. But not as much as I would have thought. But they're coming along, I guess. We'll see. We'll see whether these are like weeds here, because they don't look like the typical carrot sprout. But it stopped up to about here, and I didn't fill in down here. I didn't have any more of the seeds that sprouted, and I didn't feel like starting anymore. I think this will be enough carrots. Besides, I have more over here. These are all Imperator carrots, and they're starting here. They've come through now finally. So some are a little bit further along than others, but these are the real long carrots, the Imperator. So we're going to see how they do. These I planted in 2-inch spacing, so you would have like 16 to a square foot. I'm going to see how that is, because that would be like filling in all the carrots in every egg carton space. If you recall, these middle rows, I didn't plant anything in them on the basis of that video that I had seen. So I'm just testing to see which is actually the better method. The tomatoes I planted the other day, they took off running. I think it's already put an inch or 2 on here, each of the plants. So they're doing really well. These are the slicing tomatoes that had come from the volunteer tomato plant that I got like 3 years ago, and I've saved seeds from the fruit every year. So these were from the tomatoes that I grew last year. So they're looking quite nice. And the honey nut squash is coming along. I'd like to say it's even grown a little bit since they were put in the ground as well. So far, everything's coming along here. The cucumbers I planted, these are the pickle bush cucumbers. They seem to have taken, although their leaves are still a little yellow around the edges, although they were kind of like that when they were planted. So I'm going to give them a little more time to see how they do. But 3 of the 4 look healthy. This one has flagged every now and then, but I have a backup if I need it to put in should that one finally conk out. And I put this little trellis that I had laying around in here just to give them something to grow onto before they flop over. They only get a couple of feet long, they're not a vine, and so I gave them a little something to grow onto. So my cornfield sprung up overnight. Well, not all of them, but you can see they're starting to sprout. There. All over the place. Literally, this is overnight. Yesterday, there was just these 3 plants here that started to sprout. And then this morning, across the entire bed, there's different patches of corn that sprouted this morning when I came out here. So that was exciting to see. I'm a worrywart when it comes to my plants. So if they're not up immediately, I get nervous. But they're all starting to come up now. So we've had a lot of rain and I've been watering them. I hooked up my sprinkler system, so they've been getting good watering. But it rained overnight, so I didn't need to water the garden today. And then probably in about an hour, it's supposed to start raining. And it's going to keep raining, supposedly, for the next 3 days. So we'll see what happens with that and whether that holds true. But it's supposed to start and then not stop until Wednesday. We'll see. These are my other rhubarb plants that I put into buckets, and they're doing well as well. They've really taken root and starting to grow. It's funny because these were smaller than the small one that's in the garden bed. They were planted later, but they're growing faster. Just an interesting development, but the rhubarb is looking good. And again, because these were all transplanted just a month ago or so, maybe not even, I won't be harvesting anything this year, but I'll definitely be harvesting next year. Here in the greenhouse, these are mostly my leftover plants. I still have a couple of the vining cucumbers that need to go in. Yeah, I haven't gotten around to that just yet. Busy planting my tomatoes down at the Victory Garden. So my peppers haven't gone in. I was supposed to plant them today, but just with the rain coming, I decided to hold off and wait. But they're starting to produce flowers, so they really do need to go in soon. And the seed snails, they're coming along. These are the Blue Lake pole beans right here. So they're sprouting. And not all of them yet, but most of them. These are my Great Northern beans, and they've started coming up. This guy seems to be growing upside down. But this is another one here with the Great Northern. And got a lot of beans starting out of there. So I'm going to grow them on for a little while longer before planting them down at the Victory Garden. We've got my black-seeded Simpson, and they're stretching for some sun here. So when it's not going to be pouring rain, I'll be moving them outside so they can get better sun. This is the Lola Rosa, and this was the one that I had that the seed snail had fallen apart on me. But as you can see, and as I thought, the seeds that were in the still visible perlite have sprouted and are now growing. And then back here we've got my basil, and that's sprouted. So we're going to let them grow on a little bit before we plant them out. But we have some pretty good germination there, so that's good to see. So on the seed snails, so far it's still a win. And particularly because I got, even though they haven't all sprouted yet, I still got a lot of plants that have, and I'd be taking up like this entire 10-20 tray with the seeds if I was to be growing them in pots. Probably in about a 8 to 10 inch area. You know, I've got like 20 plants here, so that's not bad. Still haven't potted up my beets, but I swear I'll be doing that. My kale definitely needs to get out, as do my Lola Rosa and the black-seeded Simpson that I originally started that I didn't think was going to be growing. Those need to be potted up. Well, certainly the black-seeded Simpson. I can wait a little bit on the Lola Rosa. And then right next door, all my turnips basically need to go out. They're going down at the Victory Garden. But again, just because of the planting the tomatoes wiped me out because of the heat, although the second batch didn't take nearly as long and wasn't quite as exhausting as the first batch because it was a little bit cooler and it was earlier in the day, not at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when it was like hottest. I didn't die, but it did delay me. And then the turnips, the beets that I did transplant, they're looking good and can probably go out soon once I get all this other stuff planted out. Only because my videos have been running a little long, around 20 minutes. I'm gonna just do the home garden now tour, and I'll do a separate video on the Victory Garden. But if you want to see what we're doing in the garden last week, check out this video right here, and then subscribe and hit that notification bell. And that way you'll be able to follow along in the progress of all of our vegetables as we try to grow a supermarket in our own backyard. Okay, thanks for watching.